So hi to everyone joining. We're just waiting on the Financial Aid Center to join in with us right now. Hello.
Hello. I think it's connecting. There we
Oh,
go.
there we go. Yeah. So hi, it's nice to see you again.
Hello.
My name's Tristan. I go by he, him pronouns.
Hi, my name is Ksenia. I go by she, her pronouns.
So today we're going to be talking about eating on a budget. So
Yep.
to start off, where's the Money Education Center and what do you guys do?
Yeah. So the Money Education Center is located on the first floor of the pavilion. The pavilion can be found between the Annex Library and Evans Library. We're on the first floor, like I mentioned. So right now, everything's virtual just because of COVID reasons, trying to keep our staff safe. Um, And so you will find scholarship financial aid advisors there in our lobby. So you can see that. And we provide financial literacy to current students, former students, faculty and staff, presentations, appointments, advising on a list of very different topics, like the one of last month, which was money management, and today, eating on a budget.
Okay, cool. So, how can someone eat healthy on a budget? Are there like some steps to create a plan or anything?
Yes, so when we talk about eating on a budget, we don't focus too much on the healthy part of it because when we're on a budget, we can only afford what we can afford. And the higher ends of eating healthier tends to be, with the higher price. So, I mean, when it comes to eating healthy on a budget, I could say comparing name brands with the ingredients. Something that, may seem a little tedious, but spending a few more extra seconds or minutes standing on the aisle, comparing two brands, see what are the differences. If it's the same ingredient, just one ingredient, two ingredients, then you're just paying for the higher price for the brand. For example, pasta. Pretty sure HEB has really good organic brown pasta versus just white pasta that could be a little bit more pricier with another different brand. So one that's like already a comparison, but just also making a little bit of research before you go to the grocery store. I know that different stores have a website. I used to check out HEB's website, see what their prices were before I went to the grocery store. So I guess to better answer that question, how can someone eat healthy on a budget? One, a lot of produce. Produce also tends to be very good just like by buying it fresh rather than buying it frozen or buying it canned. Two, comparing brand items. Buying in season. I know for the most part, like starchy items tends to be more in season towards the end of the year than the beginning. Fruits, understanding when they're in season, other different types of vegetables. That way you don't pay too much when something's low in supply and high in demand. Understanding that. So I will start off with those two things and really giving yourself a strict budget as to how much can you really spend at the grocery store and not have impulsive buying once you're already there.
Yeah. So, do you have any tips for how someone could be smart about their shopping?
Yes. So I mentioned the HEB website. There's an app. They have apps too. What I used to recommend students, and sometimes till this day I still do, is the envelope method. So, for example, if I don't really understand or I don't really know how much I could spend on groceries on myself and I'm just starting out, you can have a range of like $40 all the way to $70 spending groceries every week, right? Well, if you don't really know, since that's a large cap, I would say that's a large cap. If you don't really know what is your average that you're spending, go to the app, go to a website, and start adding all these different things that you want to buy for the week on your cart. Everything's going to get added up to your total on the corner somewhere or at the bottom. And you can see there about how much you're going to be spending. Maybe, I don't know if it includes tax or it doesn't, but include tax with it as well. Take an extra few dollars. And then if you want to cash out, then that is what you're going to take with the grocery store. And then once you're, at the cashier and they say, sorry, you don't have it or whatever for milk, well, maybe going back and seeing what other alternative they have, or just leaving it there and understand to budget better. Or maybe you really need the milk, so you may have to resort to using your debit card or your credit card. But then that's a learning curve. You understand that what you budgeted for wasn't enough, and sometimes you have plenty left, and so you then again and keep understanding what are your spending habits, so you know exactly what is a good average that you should be taking to with you at the store.
Yeah. Do you have any tips for how to prepare the meals in a way after you have them?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Before I go to that question, I had another tip. So if budgeting is not really the part, but just kind of understanding better how to manage like how to shop it more effectively at the grocery store, something that I do is I write down my grocery items in a particular method or particular way as to how I'm going to navigate my through the store. So I always enter HEB, and I keep saying HEB because that's literally where I shop and get everything from. I enter HEB, and the first thing I see are the produce section. And so I write down the fruits, the vegetables that I want to eat for the week, and then I navigate myself through like the meat, the deli, all that good stuff, bread, cheese, any bulk items. Just walk my way all the way through the dairy section, eggs, and see any other miscellaneous things that I might need, like toilet paper or paper towels, soap, laundry detergent, and then I everything back at the front of the store where the freezer items are, just because I don't want those things to melt. And so I wrote down my grocery list in that order. That way I don't find myself in aisles where I wasn't intended to go and I don't impulsively buy. So that will be another tip. And going back to like eating healthier, comparing brand items, putting things back. If something doesn't fit what you wanted to eat for the week, just put it back. I mean, there's no need to like just have it in your cart. And there was something else I wanted to say on that. Oh man, I lost it. I lost it. Oh, for meal prepping, I think that was the next question. Um, some people don't like eating the same thing every single day for 5, 7 weeks straight, and that's perfectly fine. But I think you then have to understand, right? So, how long can you really go eating the same thing every day? And that's just part of trial and error, same as understanding what is your good average of spending each week on groceries. I give myself $200 every month for groceries. I spend anywhere between 50 and 60. I know that's another large gap, but I give myself a little bit more wiggle room in case I'm at the store and I forget something. But it's always something small, like I forgot to get coffee creamer, or I forgot to get beans, or stuff like that, not bulk items that, I would have remembered then. But understand how many days you can go with eating the same thing. Freezing items, like you can make a lot of like produce, like for example, if you like smoothies, freeze your strawberries before they go really bad. Freeze your bananas. I know they tend to go back quick, so you have frozen smoothies later. Asparagus, they tend to last longer, so yeah, it's a whole part of trying. You're not getting rid of food that goes bad really quickly. Understanding your eating habits as well. I know I can eat 3 to 4 bananas week and can't get that many because then they go bad. So like all of that is just to say that it comes with trial and error. As far as meal prepping, give yourself plenty of food that you can take within the day. Because sometimes I meal prep too much food, and sometimes it does go to waste. And then there's where I don't give myself enough food, and then I'm starving for the rest of the day. So it's just there. It comes in bits and pieces. If you want to meal prep breakfast, lunch, and dinner, then understand that you need to meal prep for all those different things. I only meal prep lunch and dinner. Breakfast is just sometimes I'm in the mood to eat, sometimes I'm not. It just depends on the day. Sometimes dinner also. So you can't be too hard on yourself for not knowing what you're eating because it just depends on the week. But for sure, if bulk items, I would say that would be another part. Buying bulk granola, cereal, things that just don't go to waste. Things that you can stock up in your pantry, not in your refrigerator.
Yeah. So, do you have any more tips before we get ready to end?
Yeah, I would say not necessarily a tip, but something I would suggest for everyone to do because I mean, I do this myself now, but try out a new fruit or vegetable that you normally don't gravitate towards too and see if you like it. For example, I didn't really like sweet potato a whole lot, like maybe 2, 3 years ago, but I was like, I need a healthier starch, I need healthier, potatoes. I need a healthier carb. And so I resorted to sweet potatoes and I tried it out and I really, really liked it. Experiment with seasoning. Having a good pantry where you have plenty of seasoning would be really good. Um, and that's another thing. Bulk up on seasoning just because sometimes you forget you're at the grocery store. I forgot to get olive oil. I forgot to get salt, pepper, whatever. But don't be afraid to experiment with food and try out new things you probably don't like.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you for joining us. So next month on the 14th, we're going to be talking about saving and baking. And so that's our next installment with you guys. So thank you so much for coming.
Of course. Thank you guys for having us.
Yeah. Okay. Goodbye.
Bye.